Okay guys, hello and welcome to another video. This is Simon Gooding's channel, my channel. What a madness. Hope you're all doing well. This is the video I was talking about a couple of weeks ago, 2 weeks ago, where I was going to recap over my last competition prep, what happened in my competition prep, what's gone on since my competition prep, and where I currently am now. So it's been a bit of a journey and I think some progress has been made, but I'll leave that up to you, what you think. Without further ado, shall we just get on with it? Let's have a look. So, as you can see at the beginning, this is coming just out of my 16 week prep for my competitions in 2017. I was incredibly lean. I was lean for a long time. I did multiple shows. My competitions went from August through to the end of October, so beginning of August through to the end of October. Training was obviously a struggle at that point with that lean, with being that lean and holding such small amounts of body fat. So it's you have good days and bad days. It is kind of difficult to get a pump sometimes when you're on that lower body fat percentage, but over the majority of time my training was pretty good. Like, consistency was there. I had quite a lot of good performance during that time, but not really like my best. I wasn't setting any PRs or anything. My food intake was still pretty high. I didn't dip below 2,600 calories. Majority of the time I was actually on close to 4,000 calories at this point, which you probably are like a bit like, how? But my expenditure was incredibly high, and once I got to this point I was just trying to kind of maintain it, and then I would increase my expenditure in order to have more food so I could stay more satiated. That's me just trying to get a pump but struggling. So that brought us to the end of October, where I had my last couple of shows. Obviously a lot smaller than I started off, a lot flatter, muscles just look smaller in general. So that's kind of where I finished up. I did men's physique and male model shows. Then we take ourselves to April, where obviously body fat has been acquired, and it's more of a fluffy, watery look, as you can see. No matter how hard you try and do a vacuum, you're still going to appear watery and flat. But as time went on, continued training, continued pushing for that progressive overload. Training was very good at this point, but not as good as I wanted it to be, so I continued pushing up. As you can see, more body fat's being put on, but definitely more muscle has been also put on during that time as well. It can be quite difficult to notice when you put on body fat and when you put on muscle. And in the last posing video I was a bit demotivated, but it was around this time where motivation started building back up, started seeing visual changes a little bit more, which is good. Obviously visual changes increase motivation as well. So then we come on to a little bit later on in the year. This is just after summer, so I think it was around about September time. Physique again, starting to look a little bit thicker, still got abs somehow, no idea how, but that was kind of like the majority of where my body fat got to. Then I started running phases of maintenance, but as you can see I am slightly leaner than I was in the last video or clip. You can see that there's definitely size being added, but also leanness. My chest definitely grew quite a lot this off season. So again I was quite happy with training performance, so another phase of maintenance. And although a lot of people just continue pushing food up and body weight up, sometimes I like to push for maintenance phases and just see how your body responds to it. watch your body lean up a little bit, and then continue adding again. And those phases can be very good for motivation as well, and also so you don't have to eat so much damn food, because you get bored of it very quickly. When you're in your prep, you think, oh, I'm waiting for my off season, can't wait. Then you change your mind and you want to cut. So this is the first week of a slight mini cut I did in December. I think this is actually the first, after our first few days. It mainly just got to the point where I was struggling to get in food, so appetite was very low. So I decided to run a mini cut coming up to December, because that means Christmas I'll be able to enjoy a little bit more food and actually have appetite for it. So that was after the first few days. Then this is after the week and a half. So I think the first one was after half a week, and this one's after a week and a half. You will notice after you do like a slight mini cut, that after a first few days, you do instantly lean up a little bit more. That kind of gunk has come off. And then we finished the mini cut around here. So also, like, weight change here was about 4 kilos, which to my eye is quite noticeable, but maybe not to your eye. It maybe wasn't quite as noticeable. So this was the last kind of physique that I did, where I'd filled up a little bit more after the initial mini cut, and you also always look a little bit leaner once you once you start bringing food back up after you've leaned down. So this is kind of where I am at the moment, and a little bit fatter from this now, but currently the muscle gain is pretty good, I would say, from where I came from in my end of competition prep. I'm looking forward to what 2020 will bring, because 2020 is the year in which I'm going to be going on stage again. I'm not sure entirely what class I'll be going into. I would like to think that perhaps I'll be able to do bodybuilding, but I'm also very aware of the fact that I don't have really big legs. My proportions in general, I would say, were more suited towards men's physique. I also prefer the men's physique posing a little bit more, but we'll see where things go after this another year of an off season. So the protocol in which I was using during this off season is a quite prolonged gaining phase. I've basically gained from October last year, 2017, through to December 2018, and although there was a fair bit of body fat added, I'm fairly certain in saying that I added a fair bit of muscle mass, maybe a little bit more than you would usually see with somebody that goes into a gaining phase. And mainly I put that down to coming out of a competition prep. So obviously when you come out of a competition prep, you're a lot leaner, so you have a lot longer that you can push a gaining phase. So the gaining phase, you want to start doing a mini cut when your body fat percentage gets too high, so over 15% normally. My training during this time has been consistently very good, obviously striving for progressive overload every single workout, apart from deloads, which I do deloads. And all my programming that I do with my clients, I schedule in deloads as well when needed. But yeah, this is just a quick little video just to give a little recap of what's been happening, give you guys a little of insight into how the journey is going so far. And the task ahead, the focus for the next couple of months is 2020. So that's the next stage, and I'm very excited for it. I'm certain that I've progressed from the last package that I brought to stage, and I'm very excited to see what's underneath. But also I'm level-headed with it as well. If I get to the position that I was in last year and I'm actually weighing in the same weight, I will be a bit disappointed, but I'm staying level with my attitude going into 2020, so it's good. Anyway guys, thank you very much. I hope you have a good rest of your day. And whatever your focus is, your goal coming up, or whatever your goal is in future, I wish you the best with it. Let's strive for bigger and better.